Hey, good morning everybody. So here we are, day 6 of our 10-day Alaska tour, and we are gonna go ahead and kind of hang out a little bit in the Alyeska Ski Resort region. And if you take a look at the hotel, the Alyeska Hotel Ski Resort, it is such a beautiful hotel, honestly. Would love to stay here possibly for one day, one evening. Now, unfortunately, a room a night is about $389 for one night. A little bit out of my budget range, so otherwise, would love to stay here. So I have plans to take the North Face Trail to take me all the way up to the actual summit of Alyeska Mountain. And the hike itself is about 2 miles, 2 miles one way going up, I believe, with an elevation gain of about 2,000 feet. So if you think about it, 1,000-foot elevation gain for 1 mile, that's ridiculous. And I've done that before, and it's really hard. But I'm looking forward to the hike. Let's do this. All right, so if you're watching this, that means you're ready to take on this fun and rewarding challenge. As I've mentioned before, the hike is about 2 miles with an elevation gain of approximately 1,000 feet. Pretty much from the start, you're gonna be feeling those legs and lungs burn. You'll definitely get a good workout in, but feel free to take your time doing this. So the path itself is pretty straightforward, so you can't really get lost doing this. There are signs that indicate warning signs for bears, and I mean it's Alaska, so they're gonna have something. But always make sure you're prepared to keep yourself safe during these hikes. Now I have to say though, despite the challenge, it is a beautiful hike to do. There's just so much green landscape around you, and you'll get the opportunity to really take in some beautiful panoramic views as you climb, which makes you appreciate the hike even more actually. So it should take the average person about 1 to 1.5 hours, but once you make it to the top, you'll feel like a champion. Get some food, grab a beer, and just enjoy the view from the cabin. Depending on the weather, you'll get some awesome panoramic views from the surrounding area. So for our next stop from Alyeska Ski Resort, we'll be heading towards Portage Glacier. It should take you about 40 minutes to get to the trailhead via the Alaska Highway 1 South and taking the Portage Glacier Road. Alright, so we're about to go ahead and visit the Portage Glacier, and I didn't know that you had to end up paying a toll road. So for regular vehicles, it's about $13. And it's interesting is that we're going to be entering a one-way cave. And it basically shares it with the train apparently. So right now we're basically waiting in line, and there's a schedule basically where you can go in. So I have no idea if we have a schedule on our map, but yeah. All right, let's look at some glaciers. Once you pass the tunnel, continue to follow your GPS until you get to the Portage Pass trailhead. The trailhead is a 4.2-mile round-trip hike with an elevation gain of approximately 1,400 feet. The trail itself is fairly easy, I would say, even though it's classified as moderate. Just climb up the trailhead and eventually you'll come across the summit point to be able to see Portage Lake as well as the glacier. So we finally made it to Portage Summit with our Portage Viewpoint over to try and look at the glaciers, but unfortunately the weather can't see anything. I mean, if you look at how thick this fog is, it's just ridiculous. If you look close enough, you can see Portage Lake. And I'm gonna imagine that the glacier is basically right above this mountain actually. If you look at the shadow, I bet you it's gonna be over there. Yeah, I know. Right there. Over there. Like if you don't
but
with the fog, I mean, sometimes the weather is unpredictable. Well, it was predictable. Weather forecast said it was gonna rain, but sucks. Before making our way towards Seward, there were some spots that we wanted to check out to get some beautiful pictures of the surrounding area and lakes. Some of the locations were honestly just me driving and pulling over because I saw something that caught my eye, and so that's one of the most wondrous aspects of Alaska. Every pit stop is a new vista of natural beauty, beckoning us to stop, breathe, and just honestly take it all in. There is, however, one stop that I highly suggest everyone stop to visit while making your way towards Seward. The stop is called Tern Lake Pullover, and honestly, you can't miss it. This is a great spot, and honestly, to get some beautiful, and I mean beautiful shots of the mountains, trees, and lakes. I just love the clear glacial colors of the water and the surrounding areas, and this is one of the reasons why I just love Alaska. The breathtaking landscapes and majestic mountains offer such a captivating window into the natural world's power and beauty. Just wow. Alright, so we finally made it to Seward, and I have to say, I know the last couple of days we were driving towards Denali Park and I was saying how magnificent and how beautiful the drive was. I take it back because driving from the Portage Glacier area to Seward was such a beautiful drive. Like, I cannot express how marvelous that drive was. Let me try to explain it and bring it to words. It's like, what made Denali Park nice was the massive, enormous size of the mountains. But with Seward, it's almost like you're driving along the fjord. Like if you guys ever go to Norway, for example, you're constantly driving between fjord, which is basically a mountain range with like water through it. And that's what it kind of felt like. We had snow caps on mountains. We had beautiful, beautiful aquamarine colored lakes on one side, rivers flowing through the other side, and I can't explain it. And what ended up happening was we initially just had planned to drive from Portage Glacier just to Seward, but we ended up making multiple stops just because of how many like random turn points that you could end up doing to take beautiful, exquisite pictures. So by the time we arrived in Seward, it was fairly late and many of the restaurants were already closed or getting ready to close. However, we did find a restaurant called the Salmon Bake that pretty much met our needs and basically ate the only thing that was open. Obviously, since we're in Alaska, we gotta order more seafood. The menu is pretty straightforward, and like most restaurants in Alaska, they will serve king crab based off of market price. So if you guys do visit this restaurant, I do highly recommend also getting the clam chowder as well as the seafood pasta. So that's it for our Day 6 adventure guides, driving from Alaska to Seward. So stay tuned for Day 7 where we explore more of Seward as well as do the famous Mount Marathon hike. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot.